Hello YouTube, Marielle here. I know it's been a while, and I do apologize as well to some of you that started to worry about my absence. I'm here, and no, things haven't progressed much. I'm very much still at the, everything is just as the same, except of course I've changed tremendously. I barely talk to my wolf. I barely acknowledge his presence. So whereas he's just carrying on as he's just carrying on, like his normal self, I did feel the need to step away from it, well, from making those videos, because I really felt the need to just concentrate. I mean, this is something that I tend to do when things get too much for me. I just, it's almost like I shut down. I just minimize, I stop communicating. I just feels like I need that space where I can just almost kind of feel by myself. I need to be by myself so I can try to figure things out, or come up with a solution, or come up with the way of dealing with a problem. Or I always feel that need, and that's how I usually deal with things. I shut down to a certain extent. And one of the things that I actually used to do as well is that whenever thank God it's not something that happened a lot in my life, but the few times that I did feel kind of overwhelmed, I used to just kind of lose my appetite. Whereas now it's the opposite. I find myself actually eating an awful lot more, but it's strange to me because I never used to do that, but now I'm actually just eating. But today, particularly today, it's a hard, doesn't feel good. Today I don't feel really good. I had to confront my daughter about some things that she said. Unfortunately for me, one of the things that one of the reality I have to deal with is my daughter being part of, smear campaigning me. And she's done that for a very, 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 very long time. And I kind of knew about it, but I just did not quite, like everything else, I didn't associate it with something pathological, something really, really wrong. I just kind of kept thinking, even part of me to this day, as I'm saying this, is still thinking that, hoping that it's just part of either being a teenager or just this phase and it'll go away. But at the same time, another part of me is very much aware of the fact that, it's much more than that. My situation is quite a, well, for all of us who are dealing with raising children with those characters like my wolf, they have so thoroughly twisted the characters of the children and their mind that, quite frankly, it's very hard to know whether, the relationship with the children will ever get better, or they will be able to grow and understand, to see more than what's on the surface, and to see beyond that false connection they've established with their parent, who's working extremely hard to alienate them from, the other parent, such as me. And so it's very confusing, and not confusing, it's hurtful. It's extremely hurtful. Many years now, I'll go into the school and I'll see the children, my daughter's friends and everything, looking at me like, literally, like I am a walking bag of poop. So much hatred, so much from people that I don't know. And just, I don't want to go into the details, but there are just so many things. And then this, just a few days ago, she made another comment, and and those are the things that, sometimes you can, even though I am aware and I know that I have to be, it's best just not to engage, but you get triggered in such a way that you just, this is my character, this is who I am and what I believe in and how I try so hard to function in the world that is being attacked. That's my whole persona. This is, to a certain extent, maybe my ego, but, I function a certain way. I believe in things in a certain way, and I relate and explain, and then to see all of that being so misconstrued and targeted and forced to, my whole image is being literally attacked and destroyed and transformed into something that is just so fundamentally so the opposite of who I am. Oh, it hurts, and it hurts to have to stay still and not do anything and not defend yourself. And then this morning I made the wrong decision to go and confront her about it and say, come on. And of course, she's good. She turned the whole thing, and my question to her was, how can you justify it within your head, within your mind, to, in such a deliberate way, to portray me, to even for you to even entertain the thought that me, I am a jealous person, or that I hate people? Where, how on earth, where does that understanding of me comes from? You know better. I've spent my whole life explaining myself to you, what I do and why I do the things that I do, and my intentions and the intentions behind what I do and what I'm expecting and the results I'm expecting and the thing. You know me. And to a certain extent, it's almost kind of stupid, because I know what's taking place in her head and why she portrays me that way, and how it's so, and I actually know, why it's so locked into place. And to a certain extent, it's even pointless for me to address those things, to even go and talk to her, or confront, or try to come up to some kind of logical understanding. I know it's pointless, but I just made the mistake. I couldn't let it go, and so yeah, it's almost like shooting myself in the foot, and so that doesn't feel good. And this video I wanted to, I'm making now, wasn't even supposed to be about that, but So I just wanted to really just catch up and let you know that I'm okay, but things are very much the same. Nothing has changed, except that I can't find my, I've lost my little book that has all of my passwords for everything. And at this point, I don't know whether it's me who misplaced it or it's my wolf that has gotten hold of it. And, whoops. And do I care at this point? No, I don't care, but unfortunately those are my passwords, and for just about everything really that has to do with the internet and beyond the internet, and those are every single one of my passwords, and I no longer know where it is, and it's, whoa, it's freaking me out. It, oh, but I'm fine, and I thank you for I thank all of you who have actually reached out to me, and I'm really apologize for this. But this is something that I tend to do. I can kind of, when things get too much, between the reading about the pathology and going after all of those information, tracking them and trying to understand, it's an awful lot of negativity on top of the negative atmosphere, on top of it's just so much negativity, a whirlwind of negative, negative information, negative, it's just became a little bit too much for me, and I had to retreat and try to figure out as well what was going to be my next step, which I'm not going to share. I can't share that, especially with knowing, that, with my book of password disappearing, so I'm not going to share that, but certainly I have an idea of what I need to do now, and but I'm going to resume as much as I possibly can, making videos, and we'll see how this story really ends and how it's going to develop. And it's, whenever I have the courage to pull myself out of myself, it's an interesting story, and I just wish I wasn't the main character. We're going to see how it's going to end. I am interested in knowing how it's going to end, and it's going to end soon.